Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we're doing the What's Next on Undefeated Lightweight Contender Keyshawn Davis, following another victory as he defeated a guy named Miguel Magdueno in a foul-filled contest by Magdueno, who is extremely frustrated, but he got a unanimous decision, did Keyshawn Davis, remaining undefeated. So now the big question is, what's next for Keyshawn Davis? Now, before we get into that, excuse me, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So yeah, I mean, Keyshawn Davis, you can argue, is a top 10 lightweight right now. He's very close. If he's not in the top 10, he's very close to it. He's a good, solid contender. I like that he, goes for victories and he tries to entertain. He tries to knock his opponents out. He's a good, solid fighter, complete fighter, and I really enjoy watching him fight. The fight with Magdueno, I mean, there was very little doubt that he was the heavy favorite and was going to win. Magdueno landed some shots, but just was frustrated as hell because Davis was picking him apart. And he started, fouling. I'm surprised he didn't get disqualified, but I'm glad he didn't, because disqualifications, don't really, people don't remember those very well. But they remember decisive decisions and knockouts. So, a win for Davis as he stays undefeated. Now the big question is, what's next for him? So let's run through the top 10 and see what could be possible. We start with my number one, the reigning IBF champion, Vasily Lomachenko. Well, Lomachenko today made news saying that he's not returning in 2024. He's, focusing on returning in early 2025. A fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. He just says he's not motivated right now, so he wants to spend some time with his family and take a little time off here. So he's taking the rest of the year off, and we won't see him back till 2025. So, the Davis fight, I don't think there was a possibility of Keyshawn fighting him anyways, but it's going to create a litany of dominoes to fall for guys like Keyshawn Davis to potentially pick up the crumbs, and they could be big crumbs. So next is Davis versus Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis. Not going to happen. Tank is not going to risk himself against a fighter of Keyshawn's ability, and but also Keyshawn's not a big name yet. So Tank's not going to take that risk. I don't see this one at all. No way. Then you got Shakur Stevenson, the reigning WBC champion, undefeated. I think it's a long shot possibility, only because they're both with Top Rank, and it's an easy fight to make. But I think Shakur and his people want something bigger and better. Davis is not on that big-time level yet to warrant a showdown here, and I don't see it happening. So I'm going to say no to this one right here, Shakur and Keyshawn. Then you got Jermaine Ortiz. Definitely a possibility. Jermaine Ortiz is, now a former world title challenger. He moved up to 140 in February and almost pulled off the upset over Teofimo Lopez, and when he lost the controversial decision to Lopez. Now, Ortiz, who, again, that was his 140 debut, but he did not say that he was staying at 140. I can absolutely see the Top Rank bringing Ortiz back down to 135 to take on Keyshawn Davis. I absolutely could see that fight, and I think that is a real possibility right there. Then you got Dennis Barianchik, the WBO champion. Keyshawn mentioned Barianchik. Again, a lot of things have to fall into place now, and are going to fall into place with Lomachenko taking himself off the table for the remainder of the year. So if Shakur Stevenson doesn't go after a unification bout with Barianchik and get that, Barianchik is open, because I really believe here, between Barianchik, Shakur, Raymond Murataya, and what's his name? And Keyshawn, I think that creates a little bit of an opportunity, a little four-man right there those guys are going to fight each other. But we're forgetting about William Zepeda when we do that. So William Zepeda is the mandatory #1 contender in all 4 governing bodies right now, to all 4 title belts. So he could throw a monkey wrench. I really believe that it's more likely Zepeda's going to fight Barianchik for the WBO title than anything else. But you never know. And Keyshawn, because Barianchik worked with Top Rank, this fight could definitely be possible. Then we got, as I said, William Zepeda. William Zepeda and Keyshawn Davis, I don't see it happening. Both are very good and high risk to each other and its promoter. The loser gets put on the back burner, and both Top Rank is pushing Keyshawn hard, and Golden Boy is pushing William Zepeda hard. And they're not going to risk it by having a cross-promotional fight that's not for a world title. Especially Golden Boy, where William Zepeda is already the #1 ranked contender. He doesn't need to beat somebody like Keyshawn to get there. He's already there. Then you got Raymond Murataya. These 2 guys have been talking shit as they, fought a week apart from each other. They've been talking a lot of shit since Murataya won his fight last Saturday. I really believe that there's a possibility we could see Murataya and Murataya and Keyshawn Davis if the little circle doesn't come around for either one of these guys to get a title shot. But honestly, I'm leaning towards the less likely here, because I think either one of these guys, I think William Zepeda or Raymond Murataya are going to land a title shot. And it could even be Keyshawn Davis that lands a title shot, even though I think he's like the 3rd option. But I do think there's a little mix there of guys that are going to get a title shot next. So I don't see Murataya and Keyshawn Davis locking horns next. Then you got Frank Martin. Martin's coming off the loss to Gervonta Tank Davis. I think Martin and Keyshawn is a good matchup, but I don't think Top Rank and the PBC are going to pull the trigger to have this cross-promotional fight. So I'm going to say no. Then you got Zaur Abdullayev. Now, this is a very good opponent to throw in there against Keyshawn Davis if they cannot get Davis into a fight like with Muratala or into a title shot. I really think a guy like Abdullayev is very good for Keyshawn Davis right now, and I think it's something they need to look into. So definitely, I think a possibility. Next is George Kambosos Jr., the former Unified champ. I don't see it. He's coming off of 3 losses in 4 fights, and right now he could be moving to 140 to challenge Liam Paro for the IBF title next. I think that's a very big possibility in all Australian title fight, so we'll see. And then, Keyshawn was part of that top 5 that's just out of the top 10. He's actually my #1 guy there. Floyd Schofield is also there. I don't see these 2 guys coming together, even though that would be a very good eliminator between 2 undefeated fighters on the rise. I think Schofield's undefeated. I think it'd be a good fight right there, but I don't think they're going to push for it. Edwin De Los Santos, a good fight to be made, but he's a PBC guy, and I don't see PBC and Top Rank coming together for this one. Magdueno was already defeated. Chan Thonson, he's a guy from, I think he's a Canadian lightweight. That'd be an interesting matchup because it'd be an all WBA type eliminator, because Keyshawn's not ranked. He's ranked high in the WBA, but his 3 highest ratings are in the other 4 governing bodies at #3. And then you got Mark Chamberlain, who's the WBC's #5 contender. Interesting matchup, but this is also Turki Al-Ashik's guy right here that they're pushing really hard. He's fighting in September. So for Keyshawn Davis, I do think he's going to be explored as a possibility for not for Shakur Stevenson, but I do think the Dennis Barianchik fight is a real possibility, and is a possibility if we're looking at a title shot. But I really think Top Rank is going to push for Shakur to fight Murataya or a unification bout with Barianchik next. That's going to leave Keyshawn Davis out in the cold right there. But if it leaves him out in the cold, there is, again, I think Jermaine Ortiz in an all Top Rank showdown with Keyshawn makes a ton of sense. If they can get Jermaine Ortiz and move back down to 135, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility because he just barely moved to 140 back in February for a title shot. It's a big fight. It's an in-house fight right here. It's definitely makeable. And then I also think the Zaur Abdullayev fight is definitely a real possibility as well, because Abdullayev is is a guy that's a top tier contender that's always floating around the top 10. He'd be a good opponent to throw in there against Keyshawn. I think Top Rank wants to step up Keyshawn's opponents, and I think they're going to push for it in the next fight. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping it's at least one of those top tier guys next. Even Murataya, if Murataya gets left out in the cold hanging, I'd like to see Murataya and Keyshawn Davis as well. So to me, it's Barianchik's a long shot. Murataya, if he gets left out because Stevenson and Barianchik attempt to unify belts. Then there's Jermaine Ortiz and then Zaur Abdullayev, I think are the real ones. And an outside shot of Chan Tonson from Canada in a eliminator. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that's what Keyshawn does next. He doesn't take a step back. I'm hoping. And that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on Undefeated Lightweight Contender Keyshawn Davis following his dominating 10-round decision victory over Miguel Magdueno in a WBA eliminator on July 6th on ESPN. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.